Welcome back. I am Unapologetically Eric. You can find me on X at Eric Not Sorry or on Facebook at Unapologetically Eric. So, Connecticut residents, how's life? Everything's going good, smooth? Everything's cheap, affordable? Life's good, right? In Connecticut. Yeah. No, Connecticut sucks. It's a shithole. The electric bills are outrageous and going up. Oh, don't worry, the government's going to help. Yeah, okay. Electric bills are going up. Okay, everything is expensive, and taxes are, out of control. Everything in Connecticut pretty much blows. But fear not, Connecticut residents, State Senator Bob Duff, he's on top of things because he knows what is most important. The important thing for Bob Duff is sexually explicit material in schools for children to see. Wait, you didn't hear about that on the local news? Shocker. Considering I have contacted a few local news outlets and tagged them in posts, and shocker, I haven't heard nor seen anything. Big surprise there. It is Connecticut after all. Now, sexually explicit materials. Now, okay, let's step back for a minute because I can hear people going, he wants to ban books and all that horse crap. It is not a secret. There are many school locales across the country that have had this exact topic come up to debate. And typically, the left immediately point to those on the political right and say they just want to ban books, they're book burners, and that's it. And that's what I hear people parrot, like, oh, well, they're just they just want to ban books. Stop. Do you know what is in the books that these people want banned? Do you really know why? No. You don't. You don't do any research. All you hear is, oh, here's this book. We'll just say book XYZ. And it is, we'll say, homosexual in nature. Okay, fine. But it's not just, I'm a boy and I'm different. That butterfly's a butterfly, but I'm different. No, it's not like that. It's explicit and descriptive, and the illustrations, ooh, if you try looking them up and you have parental settings set up on your searches, you're not going to be able to see the images. The filter will block them. And these books, Bob Duff he wants them in schools. I'm not talking universities, the library at a university where adults who attend university can go and read or whatever. No, he and others, but he's the big one. He's the one that I've been seeing on my timeline. Bob Duff, state senator, Democrat, wants these books in all schools. So elementary, middle, and high school. Okay. And once again, as I've already said, people go, well, it's a book about gays and they just want to ban gay books. Okay, I'm going to get into this a little more because that is not the case. Now, as an adult, let's just take a step back. Okay, all of us learned about the birds and the bees, right? We all did. Now, we all can discuss what the appropriate age is for a child to learn about what their body is going to go through and where babies come from and all of that. And we're never really going to come up with, it has to be this age or it should, because, okay. But let's face it, we all learned about the birds and the bees. My experience was in 4th grade. Boys and girls were separated, and we learned the bare bone basics. Like, anatomy, like this is the penis and the testes, and this is the clitoris. Ugh, God, so fucking cringe, right? It's so cringe. And then 5th grade, same thing, but the boys and girls were together, and there was a lot of giggling, and yeah, you think back about that. I know, you laugh about it. We all laugh about it. But again, it was anatomy. And then, maybe some STDs and how to prevent them. And through the years, the older you got, and of course, the closer you got to being I wouldn't say sexually active, but definitely had sex on the brain age, you learned about what your body's going through and how to prevent pregnancy and STDs and all that. You learn more as you got older, which, again, makes sense. However, the content in these books is not like, okay, well, this is the No, dude. No. Now, I understand also, throughout history, those that were not straight did not get representation. Fine. Okay. I get it. Me personally, I don't give a crap if you're straight or gay. I have said this along with my friend Ryan on our other podcast, Two Guys, One Campfire. I know it's been a minute. We're going to fire that up soon. So we said it many times. We don't give a shit how tall are you, what your skin color is, if you're straight or gay, if you're fat. Are you a cool person or not? We don't care. We may have, I'm not speaking for Ryan, I'm speaking for me. I may have my own personal little ooh, that's kind of creepy and cringe, but you're you. Just live your life. You're not hurting anybody. I don't care. I don't care. But why must material like this be in schools where children can see it? Okay, parents, because I don't have kids. I already know what my answer would be, regardless if I did. But parents, if you have a boy between the ages of 7 and 11, would you give your son a Playboy magazine? Yes or no? Would you or would you not? I mean, a Playboy magazine does have comics. It has a lot of articles. It has interviews. So lots of reading material. Does have naked photos of women, though. But they're classy. They're tasteful, right? It's just a naked woman's body. Oh, you probably wouldn't want to give that magazine to your boy, right? Yeah, probably not. How about a Hustler? No, Hustler's a little more explicit. But you wouldn't want to give a Playboy to your 9-year-old son, right? Parents, do you have a daughter? You got a little girl at home. Again, same thing. She's 7, 8, 9 years old. Would you give her a Playgirl? I mean, granted, again, there's articles and comics and ads and interviews. It's sure there's pictures of naked dudes, but they got flaccid wieners. Floppy wieners. Floppy wiener, wiener, wiener. Any South Park fans? No? Okay. But would you give a Playgirl magazine to your daughter who is 8 years old? Yes or no? I sure as hell hope I hear a resounding no. I can understand at a certain age, like 17, here, kid, here. But 8, 9 years old, no Playgirls, no Playboys. Okay, good. I hope we are all in agreement that none of us would give an 8-year-old a Playboy or a Playgirl magazine. Okay, all right. Let me educate you about some of the stuff Bob Duff wants in schools. Now, and also, on the same vein regarding representation, I understand that there are people that are, we'll say they're young adults, maybe 25 to 30, that have written a book or a magazine or something who happen to be gay. And they write about their experiences in life. And there are hopefully what they write assists other young gay people in their life. Let's say a 15-year-old's like, okay, I'm not like my friends. I'm different. Oh, look, this book is written by someone like me, and they can relate to it. Okay, fine. I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with that at all. I have an issue with what Bob Duff wants in schools. in front of children. Because what he is supporting, I'm assuming blindly, because I'm not going to say Bob Duff is a groomer. But Bob, are you a groomer? I'm asking. It's a question. Because if you say no, Bob, then my follow-up is, are you aware what's in these books that you're supporting? Because if you're just supporting what people say and not really understanding, then dereliction of duty, bitch. All right, so the first book that comes up that is, again, not a, I don't think is appropriate for children, and has come up quite a bit, and it is called Genderqueer. Okay, it's written by somebody. They're writing their experiences, but again, children. Okay, I'm not talking 17 and 18-year-old seniors in high school. I'm talking, these people want these books available for your 7 and 8-year-old. In that book, there are, let's see, I searched this on Grok, so it's AI search. So, but anyways, there are drawings depicting the main character in scenarios involving masturbation, including one where the main character is shown in the act with a hand mirror. There is an illustration that shows the main character's girlfriend performing oral sex on him while while she wears a strap-on dildo. There is a panel that shows the young main character fantasizing about an older man touching a younger man's penis. Explain to me how that is appropriate for children. You can't. No one can. Why would someone want that around 9-year-olds? Why? Unless you're a fucking pedophile or you're a groomer. No child should have access to something like that. None. Okay, here. Sorry. Let me go to this one. I believe this book is called This Book is Gay. Another one that a lot of people have complained about. Let me see. Again, I did a search on the, basically, what's up with this? Why are people so shocked? Okay, so as I am reading, I am verbatim. Critics argue that the book contains content that is too sexually explicit for young readers. It includes discussions on sex with specific mentions of practices like using apps like Grindr for hookups. Grindr is a hookup app for gay men. Descriptions of various sexual acts and even mentions of kink, BDSM, and fetishes. Some have pointed out sections that discuss scatophilia, erotic eating of feces. Bob Duff supports having a book in school with children that depicts eating shit for fun. Are you serious, Bob Duff? Anybody else out there? I'm not just picking on Bob. Anybody out there that supports this, are you for real? Are you for real? I think you need to go to, an asylum, bro. You need your fucking head examined. I understand children come to a certain age and they are going to have to learn about the changes in their body, puberty, and all of that stuff. We all learned it. We all have to learn it. And again, as I stated already, we can discuss when the proper age is. And yes, because of societal changes, children are also going to have to learn and understand and grasp that, okay, sometimes Billy has two dads. Okay, fair enough. And I'm sure children will go, and they'll start asking questions like, how does that work? Well, I learned in school that mommies and daddies make children, so how can Billy have two dads? That doesn't work, Mommy. Okay, Timmy, sit down. We're going to have a conversation. That happens. I get it. But why do books like the ones I just described have to be in school with young children? I don't get it. I will never be able to wrap my head around that. Just like pedos, I'll never be able to understand looking at a small child and going, oh, yeah, I want a piece of that. What the No. Never understand that. Bro, the closest, and I know I'm not alone on this. I know I'm not. The closest of any kind of weird shit like that I've ever experienced is, say, hanging out at the mall when I was in my early 20s because, malls were still a thing. And my buddy and I sit and having lunch, and we turn and look and go, bro, check out the girls at the register. Damn, they look fine. And then they turn around and we see their faces, and we're like, oh my God, I feel so creepy. They're so, oh God. Okay, and I know that happens to ladies. Come on, ladies. You can't say that you haven't been standing in line at Dunkin' or Starbucks or something. You look down and you're like, that guy's got a nice booty. Man, I wish I could smack that. And then he turns around and you're like, oh my God, he's got to be like, what, in 9th grade? Oh, girl, I feel so gross. It happens, okay? It happens. But you didn't knowingly look down and drool over the booty of a 9-year-old boy, right? My friend and I were not ogling 7-year-olds, But these people want books like that around 7-year-olds. Yeah. So Connecticut, contact, who's available, Fox 61 News, Channel 3, WTNH, Channel 30, whatever their call letters are. Why are you not aware of this? Why has this not been like headline news? Oh, because he's protecting the books. That's right. Bob Duff wants to prevent the banning of these books in school. But still, why is this not news? Parents, people that don't even have kids anymore, your grandparents, or maybe you never had any, but you know people that do. Make them aware of this. Have them look into this. Bob Duff. And wonder and ask him, why do you want sexually explicit books to be in schools? Why are you protecting this? Why do you not want these books banned? Again, if it's a public library, again, we can argue about a public library. We could argue university and college libraries, which I wouldn't like it, but I could defend it because, again, colleges and universities, primarily adults go there. In a public library, you could have these books in the adult section where you need a key to get to or what have you. So we could, whatever. But inside schools, South Windsor, schools, Glastonbury schools, Enfield School. Why do these books need to be there? Why?
Well, we're going to put them off to the side so the youngest kids won't have access to them.
Right. Because the second grader isn't friends with another second grader that has a brother that's in 5th grade that goes, hey, come check this out. Like that's never happened before. Bullshit. Why does it have to be in the school at all? Why? Children have one job when they go to school. It's you show up and you learn how to do math and you learn to read, unless you go to Baltimore schools, but I'm talking Connecticut today. You learn to read, which teachers don't have to do anymore in New Jersey. You can look that up. Dead serious, you can look that up. But children need to learn how to read and write, do math, be friendly, eat well, learn how to be a functioning adult in society. We all have our opinions on public schools, but the point is, that is the job of the child. You show up, you study, you get good grades, you learn. Why do books like this need to be in schools with small children? And I can hear my critics now. You're just an shut the up. Shut up. You can call me a bigot. You can call me anti-gay. You can call me anti-trans. I don't care. Those words lost their meaning 10 years ago. Nobody cares about them anymore. Answer me. Give me a laid out, logical, thought out explanation of why books with graphic illustrations and stories regarding any kind of sex, I don't care if it's gay sex or straight sex, why do books with illustrations of sexual acts and descriptions of sexual acts have to be in school with children? Nobody can do that. No one can do that. Again, as I've stated before, and I will reiterate, I am not talking about a book that explains I'm different. Okay, a light and fluffy 2-page book, kind of like you read the book of, I look different from my friend. Shit that you use to help teach kids that it's okay to be different. You are unique on your own. It's okay. So I don't have, me personally, and I know others would argue, I don't have a problem if there is a book of, I'm a boy and I'm different. And it describes how he's just different. Okay, fine. Light, fluffy, fine. But not this shit. This is not light and fluffy. Like I said, if you have parental controls on your search engines, these images will not come up. They will not come up. But Bob Duff and others around his inner circle want this stuff around your children. So, Connecticut residents, as you open up your Eversource bill and you look down and you cry and you try to figure out how the hell you're going to pay your electric bill, your heating bill, your grocery bill, and put clothes on your kids' back, just remember, top priority for Bob Duff is putting porn in your kids' schools. So, Bob, are you a groomer or are you just pedophile adjacent? I'm not quoting or stating, I'm asking. Are you? Because if you're not, please explain to me without using buzzwords, insults, or any of the other shit. Use normal words to explain to me why this is a necessity. Like, this has to happen. Why, Bob? Why? You can't do it. You cannot do it. Nobody can ever explain this shit to me. Ever. Never, ever. So, Connecticut residents, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And anybody else that has tuned in. But, again, Connecticut residents, look into this. State Senator Bob Duff wants to prevent the banning of books in schools. However, these are the books he is looking to prevent from being banned. He has not stated any of these books specifically. Let me state that, at least to my knowledge. I have never witnessed Bob Duff write or hold up a list of books stating these have to be in schools. I never saw that. However, a blanket or an umbrella covering we're not banning books, these are obviously then have to be on the list because they're books. Okay? So question your school district. Ask them, are these books and others like this in my child's school? Ask. Because trust me, they're not going to want to answer. If you show up to school and say, I would like to take a walk through the library, watch their faces freak. They will turn white as a ghost and then red with embarrassment, and then, I will have to contact the, yeah, why don't you go do that? Why do these books and anything with sexual explicit material need to be in schools with children? If you would not give your child a Playboy, a Hustler, a Penthouse, a Playgirl, or Pornhub access, then why should access to this material be allowed to children in schools? Answer me. You can't. You can't do it. You can't. Thank you for listening. I will have another episode up shortly. I know it's been a while. My apologies. Life's been crazy. So thank you for listening. If you like this episode, please like and share. Follow me on X and on Facebook. And until next time, keep being you.